meeting of the Oak Park City Council is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For a while, you have to get up. Blood pressure just. City Clerk Ed Norris, would you call the roll?
Mayor McClellan.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Here.
Councilmember Radner.
Here.
Councilmember Edgar.
Here.
Councilmember Whitehead.
We have a quorum, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have the consent agenda. These are routine items presented without discussion. Any council member can ask to have an item dropped and considered separately. 5A, regular city council meeting minutes for December 4th, 2023. B, organization meeting minutes for December 4th. Traffic Safety Board minutes for November 21st. Recycling and Environmental Conservation Commission meeting minutes for October 19th. Request to advertise for bids for the 2024 Catch Basin Line Replacement Project, M761. Request to approve final payment application number 4 for the 2019 Sewer and Catch Basin Cleaning and TV Inspection Project, M700, to Deutsch Environmental of Warren, Michigan for $5,000. Request to approve final payment application number 4 for the 2020 Sewer and Catch Basin Cleaning and TV Inspection Project, M716, to Deutsch Environmental for $5,000. Request to approve payment application number 1 for the 2023 Sewer and Catch Basin Cleaning and TV Inspection Project, M760, to Deutsch Environmental of Warren for $88,114.05. Finally, licenses, new and renewals submitted for December 18th, 2023. Is that right? No. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Is there a discussion? Nope.
I just have one thing, Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
I just wanted to mention, in case anybody's interested, the Traffic Safety Board, of which I am a member, we have asked the Oakland County Road Commission to change the no turn on red sign at Lincoln and Greenfield to a just a no turn on red between certain hours. So for those of you who've sat at that light, I know I've probably spent hours and hours of my life at that light. You'll now be able to make a turn before 7 a.m. and after 7 p.m. So, yay.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. We don't have elected officials or special presentations or public hearings. Brings us down to item 11, accounting reports. Approval of payment of invoices submitted by Garin Luca Miller PC for legal services in the amount of $15,312.08. Is there a motion to approve? Councilmember Radner?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried. 11B, approval for payment of an invoice submitted by Schiffman's Fournier for legal services retainer for January 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2024 in the amount of $18,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes?
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Item 13, ordinances. Let's see. This is first reading of an ordinance to repeal and replace Chapter 50, Offenses and Miscellaneous Provisions, Article 2, Offenses Against Property, Section 50-45, market basket cart of the Code of Ordinances, City of Oak Park. The proposed ordinance updates the regulations pertaining to shopping carts. First, can we have a motion to approve the first reading?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Would our city attorney, I know that having baskets around has been a problem, people taking them home and leaving them there, and the store not getting them back. And so this is an effort to improve that situation. Can you discuss?
Excuse me, Madam Mayor, I actually defer to Director Maroney for explanation of the reason for the ordinance, and she can provide you some background on that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Ebony. So we have been working on this in municipal services for about 2 years now to amend our ordinances because it has been an issue in the community for many years. Shopping carts being left in sidewalks, in people's front yards, and DPW and code enforcement has had to deal with it. Our prior ordinance was adopted in 1973, and we felt it was time that we amend the ordinance and actually give us a little more teeth to enforce it. Our goal is to meet with all of the area businesses that have shopping carts, educate them on it. Kroger has already done a lot of the things that we're proposing. They tag their carts already. They have signs at their doorways. They've been going around town picking up their carts on a weekly basis, but some of the other businesses haven't been as good in actually coming to retrieve their carts. So this gives us an opportunity to put more teeth in our ordinances and make it easier also for the businesses to retrieve their carts and give us the opportunity to actually recycle ones that are not picked up at the end of every month.
I have a couple of questions about this.
Yes,
Yep.
Councilmember Redmond.
First of all, can I just ask, who drafted this ordinance?
So there were many people involved in it.
I would imagine so.
Pardon me?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, and then it was finally, the final copy was reviewed by our city attorneys as well. So we had Dave DeCoster, part of that, Dan Fairless. Rob Barrett was in it for a year and a half, myself and Jeff Wren, and Scott Lamar too, I think. I think, am I missing anybody?
Okay, so I looked through this, I read through this, and the question that I guess I have for Ebony is in subsection E, where it's talking about the duty of the store owner upon removal, there's a presumption that if it's found in a public place, that the owner has violated the terms of this section. So, I mean, I don't love it, I understand it, but you reviewed it.
I did review it,
Okay.
and we approve of that, and quite frankly, that was one of the terms we thought should be included, because otherwise any citation, as you could see in subsection D, this ordinance also gives the ability to issue citation against the actual violators, who would be the people taking the carts out. And we think the intent of this ordinance is not to be punitive to individuals, but to ensure that the store owners comply with the requirement to label their carts and ensure that if they are removed from the store, they are returned.
Okay. I mean, the thing I wanted to double check with you is that presumption is okay.
It is okay, and we are prepared to defend it if challenged in court.
Okay, and then the other thing is the fee schedule. I don't see a fee schedule. Is that just somewhere later on that I don't see?
Councilmember Radner, that is something that we will bring back in January for
Okay.
approvals. So
Okay, gotcha.
we have not presented those yet. We want to make sure that the ordinances get passed prior to coming back to you with the fee schedule.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Any further discussion or questions?
I do have one question about this, just logistically. If I see a cart abandoned on the sidewalk, do I call the city? Do I report it? And how would, I mean, do these stores have to drive around every day? How is this gonna work?
So we'll still retrieve the carts as we have in the past. In your situation, if you've seen one on the side of the road, call code enforcement. We'll send code enforcement out, they'll pick them up, or DPW will pick them up. But what we've done in this new process is we have come up with a way to store them for a month on the DPW yard and then send an invoice to all of the stores that have their carts in the DPW yard, tell them what day they need to come to pick them up by, and if they're not picked up by that date, then we would recycle the carts.
Recycle meaning take them apart, or?
They have a recycle bin at the DPW yard for metals.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No.
Thank you. Okay, ready to vote?
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carried, thank you. Item 13B is the first reading of an ordinance to add Article 10, vacant building registration, Section 18-401 of Chapter 18, Buildings and Building Regulations of the Code of Ordinances, City of Oak Park. This proposed ordinance would provide the city with the means to enforce the maintenance of abandoned, blighted, and vacant buildings or structures in the community. Long an issue. Is there a motion to approve the first reading?
So moved?
Thank you,
Second.
thank you. Director Maroney, would you speak to this, please?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So this is another ordinance that the Municipal Services Department has been working on for about 2 years. It was brought to their attention that we did not have anything to address vacant buildings, and it has been an issue within the department, both in the residential and the commercial standpoint. One for blight. In some instances, people that in their residential homes leave pools open when they're not living in the house, which could become a hazard for public safety. And then also with a lot of buildings, commercial-wise, that are owned by corporations that don't even exist in our country and are out of the country, that become blighted or hazardous to the welfare of the public. So we have come up with an addition to our general code ordinance by adding this section in order to require property owners that have abandoned and vacant buildings to register them with the city, so that it gives us an opportunity to notify public safety which ones have nobody living in them. They can do some extra patrols and are aware who they can contact should there be any issue on that property.
Aren't there some with mixed ownership banks or something, or groups of people own them?
And I think you're talking about a REIT, maybe?
Yeah.
Yep. So we need to know the process of registering the building is so we know who to contact should the home or commercial business catch fire, there's a break-in, whatever the case may be. At this point in time, we, in many instances, have no idea of how to reach the owner.
So this does not include rental properties, which
Well-
are technically vacant, but
Well,
not really.
Rental property, what do you mean by rental
Like
property?
if somebody has a
home?
rental property that they're using, which they're trying to find a renter for.
Yeah, I
Right
mean,
now-
a short period of time is not something
Okay.
we're
Okay, fine.
we're concerned with. We're talking about long vacant
Right, within
properties.
60 days, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
And obviously, like in every one of our ordinances, we work with property owners or residents. We just want compliance and ease of making things work, so.
Okay, Jim?
Scared everybody. Okay, I think are we ready?
Yes, we are ready. Any other discussion? Ready to vote, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes,
and Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
motion carried, thank you. Brings us to city manager section of our agenda. Eric Tungate.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. I have the honor and privilege of being able to introduce our new Deputy Public Safety Director, Jason Janopoulos. Jason, could you come on up? Director Cooper, could you join him, please? As many of you know, our current deputy director, Sean Tetler, is retiring, and we have selected Jason as his replacement. Director Cooper has a few words he'd like to share, but I just want to say one more time that I am absolutely honored to be able to make this appointment. Jason has been with us for some time and is a fantastic officer, and I'm very much looking forward to working with him in this new expanded role.
Thank you, boss. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council. I concur what the city manager said. I'm very happy to come before you with Deputy Director Jason Giannopoulos stepping into his new role. Just to kind of give you a little feedback as far as his career, a little short bio. He served honorably with the Public Safety Department for the past 25 years. During that time, he's had numerous positions, to include he's been a patrol officer, he's been one of our field training officers, firearms instructor, member of the Special Response Team. Him and I served on the Oak Park Special Response Team for several years. He's also been a detective in the Investigations Bureau. He's also been a detective sergeant in the Investigations Bureau, where he oversaw and supervised the unit. And prior to being promoted to deputy director, he serves as patrol lieutenant. He's been a part of our executive staff here at the Public Safety Department for 13 years. He's overseen and supervised several large and high-profile incidents. Extremely highly decorated officer, has received numerous citation awards throughout his career. He's a recent graduate of the Northwestern School of Staff and Command. And I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's one of the most prestigious and recognized schools, leadership schools in the country. And we have several of our staff that have actually attended that, but Jason is one of the most recent graduates. In addition to all of his accomplishments that I just mentioned, Deputy Director Giannopoulos is extremely intelligent. He's professional. He's hardworking. He's dedicated. He's a loyal member of this Public Safety Department, and we are fortunate to have him stepping into the new role. He's a true leader. He's ready to step into this new role. I'm confident he'll do a great job of continuing the tradition of excellence that is expected and demanded of our staff. Couldn't have a better person to serve as second in command of the Public Safety Department. Like I said, he's a humble young man, but like I said, very sharp. You're not going to find a sharper mind in the business than Deputy Director Giannopoulos. And you don't mind, Gino, if you'll say a few words?
Absolutely. Good evening. First off, thank you to City Manager Tungate and Director Cooper for the appointment. It's an honor, and I'm excited to step into the role. You guys are well aware of Director Cooper's pride in the Public Safety Department, as well as his commitment to the city, the residents, and the services we provide. I'll take this moment to assure you guys I echo that pride, that commitment, and I look forward to serving alongside of him and continuing giving the excellent service that we provide here in Oak Park. I know there's quite a few of you, city employees as well as council members alike, that I still have yet to meet. I've been kind of hiding on midnights for a little bit, so I look forward to meeting you all, everybody, working with you, getting to know you, and working with you in the next few weeks. Thank you. Delighted
to welcome you to the new position.
Yeah, congratulations and welcome, Jason.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated. Okay, with that, we're on to 15B. I'm going to have our IT Director, Ricardo Singson, join me at the podium. We don't often see our IT Director, council members, but there he is.
Here I am.
Okay, the first item is just a request to authorize the Information Technology Department to participate in the State of Michigan My Deal contract for the purchase of 33 new computers totaling $48,119.42. It's part of our kind of ongoing strategy that we have to continually refresh our technology, both as a product of their age as well as the use and abuse they have being used day in and day out by our staff.
So, Ricardo, one of the things that I wanted to clarify for City Council, so council members, you typically wouldn't see our purchase of computers because this is a normal part of our business and part of our capital life cycle. The reason that you are seeing this one is because this is a much larger purchase than normal, and it exceeds my spending authority, so that's why it's on the agenda. But I do know, upon your approval this evening, that there are a lot of employees who are going to be very happy to have new computers.
You said 33 computers?
Correct.
So it comes out to what, about 1,500 apiece, give or
About
take?
1,500 apiece, correct.
Okay, so I mean, obviously for 1,500, that's a decent computer. We're not talking.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so we have a few different standards of computers that we try to meet in terms of the level and the capacity of the user that's using them. So for instance, a computer that maybe just sits up at the counter, we don't need to put in quite that much. Computers that are used day in, day out by people that are in and out of the community, then they more
Gotcha.
often than not get something that's suitable for their use, because again, we have a 3 to 5 year life cycle in our assets.
Awesome. And this My Deal is somehow through Michigan, is that like a better deal or a better rate?
It's pretty much a standard rate that's established for municipalities in the state of Michigan, so.
So if I understand that, if I tried to get the same computer at I was gonna say
You'd be
Circuit
paying
City.
about 30% more.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you, that's what I was gonna ask.
Further questions? Ready to vote? Let's see. First, do we have a motion? No. Is there a motion to authorize our Information Technology Department to purchase in the state of Michigan My Deal contract 33 new computers for $48,119.42?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion, questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes. Mayor
So
Pro Tem.
the computers we just purchased, are these for the employees?
Correct, as well
The
as
staff.
Councilmember Edgar is also participating in that. So prior to the purchase, we poll all the directors, we look at our inventory, we establish a numerical number of both the count as well as the level of configuration, and then we put forth that in our directors meeting for approval and then
It's
pass it up
probably
there.
not the form to say I requested an updated laptop like last year or either year before last.
We do have 2 or 3 that are for city council based on the age of them. So if you hadn't been asked directly, our asset inventory system pretty more or less tracks the born-on date of our laptops. So in addition to what directors have expressed as assets needing to be replaced, we also go by the numerical date of purchase, keeping in mind our life cycle that we try to keep our assets at.
Okay.
Further question? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
You have to say.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
The second item for information technology is a request to approve the payment of an invoice from Dell Technologies for 15 police car computers in the amount of $46,916.70. These are the laptops that are in each of our vehicles. They are interfaced with our new Axon body cameras as well as the in-car cameras. They're part of the larger technology initiative that we have with public safety in terms of resetting ourselves for the next 3 to 5 years by providing obviously the most up-to-date technology that we can have. It coincides with kind of that hiring rush as well to make sure that our newest officers have kind of the latest and greatest. It's part of a 5-year life cycle that we had with our last computers that we purchased. And it is a purchase that is coordinated through the Oakland County. So they are our law enforcement management information system for 155 cities. We're one of the participating. So when we make purchases, we use their account rep for Dell, and then they allocate that back to the municipalities that are requesting the assets.
I have a question. Or is it the time to ask a question now?
Absolutely.
Get a motion.
Do we have a motion yet? Nope, motion first.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, now ask your question.
I thought that when we purchased the body cams for the officers, that we got the equipment computers to go upgraded or updated at that time?
The body cameras are just the physical cameras that are on the officers. We did have a few that were just purchased as part of the FOIA component of it, but these are the actual laptops that sit inside of the vehicles themselves. They just happened to coincide with that project. Those were purchased, I believe, in 2018, and then prior to that, they were maybe 10 years running. So it's happens to coincide chronologically, and it works out that way in that they provide a benefit to our body cam project, but they were separate purchases.
I just remember when we approved the body cams, I thought there was a discussion about computers, but I'm all for it.
These computers are twice as expensive as the others, is that true?
Correct.
And
correct.
because why? Just
These are the ones that are on 24/7. They are dealing with the environmental aspect of being within a vehicle, whether windows down, up. They are hardened by the manufacturer for closing the lids, opening the lids, damage to them, things of that nature.
Potholes.
And then the processing power to deal with the technology that both the in-cars and the body cameras provide.
Thank you. Any further questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Radner?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns?
Yes,
Councilmember Edgar?
Yes.
Usually the next one.
What's it?
Next one, too.
Next one.
15D. I'm going to have, or is it Director Cooper? I'm sorry,
Cooper's
okay.
going to speak to that.
More technology.
It's more technology.
Never ends.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council. I'm going to have Stephanie Prister, our Records Supervisor, Information Technology Specialist, join me here at the podium as I go through the agenda item. And if you have questions that you want her to expand on, we'll be more than happy to tag team them. I come before you with a request. In 2022, the city was awarded a grant to outfit the Public Safety Department with body-worn cameras. The project was awarded to Axon Enterprise Incorporated. Since then, Axon Enterprise has continued to provide technology/camera services to the department. The next stage of the project is to upgrade the booking area with a compatible Axon Enterprise camera system. And after meeting with the IT department, the city manager, we've deemed an Axon Enterprise as the sole source provider for this project. Their technology will seamlessly work with our current technology today. The contract for these upgrades is 5 years, with the intent to renew concurrently with the next body-worn camera project, which will happen in 2027 and /28 fiscal year. Total cost of this project is $92,208.26, and is proposed to be divided equally over the 5-year term. The project is unbudgeted and will require $18,441.66 budget amendment from the general fund. Fund balance for the 23-24 fiscal year. Future year expenditures will be added to the information technology budget. And I come before City Council asking you to award the sole source contract to Axon Enterprise for the total amount of $92,208.26, with the total being divided equally over the 5-year terms. It's further recommended that the City Council approve a budget amendment for the total amount of the $18,441.66 in fiscal year 23-24. Just to give you a little bit of feedback, the camera systems that we're talking about in our booking area. So when we take someone into custody, we bring them into our station, there's a booking area where we gather pertinent information from the person that's been arrested. We inventory property. We do all of the processing before we house that particular person in that area. And this area is under 24/7 video surveillance. Currently, we have 3 cameras in that area, and they are antiquated. They're 10 years old. And then we have 3 cameras where we actually do interviews. So once we bring a suspect or a person into in that particular area, for a crime that we're looking to charge them with. We bring them, and our detectives will actually come in and do interviews, and all of those interviews are video and audio recorded, and they're evidence, and they're used to convict. And the systems that we have currently in place is basically lived out as life expectancy. The 3 interview rooms plus the 3 booking cameras that we have in that area gives us a total of 6. Like I said, it's an old system. It's been basically falling apart. We have been limping that system along, hoping to get as much out of it as we could before we had to come to this point to make the purchase. And in doing so, it basically just basically falling apart on us, being held together with tape and glue for the most part. So, like I said, that's the little bit of a background as far as the current system that's in there. We're constantly having to call a repair team out to repair it. It's costing us service fees. The quality of the video system is mediocre at best. And one of the issues and concerns that troubles me greatly is the fact that oftentimes we don't find out the system is actually not functioning until we've went to retrieve some of the video footage that could be crucial. Anytime we bring somebody in that particular area, you have to guard against and protect the city and the department against allegations of excessive force, theft, a number of things as it relates to just the initial booking process, let alone the interview process when you're gathering critical information from subjects that you're going to play in front of a jury. And number one, it has to be clear. The audio has to be clear and concise. You have to be able to see. And the last thing we need is to be in there with an ad hoc type system where we're not able to make out pertinent information and it can jeopardize our cases. So this is a very necessary purchase, and it's out of necessity that we come before City Council with this evening.
Do we have a motion? We have a motion?
Would you like me to read it?
Nope, I'm good.
You read it? Okay. Nope.
We have a discussion, questions?
So
There
moved.
is a motion?
We need a
Okay.
motion.
So
We need a
moved.
I'll second the motion.
Questions or discussion?
It was good.
Yeah.
Important. You know, those juries can be.
Yeah. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 15E, I'd like to have our city engineer, Kara Gristenberg, join me at the podium, please.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, City Manager. Michigan Joint Sealing has requested a contract extension of the 2023 Joint and Crack Sealing Project M751. They have indicated that they will be willing to execute a one-year extension of their unit prices from this project to perform the 2024 Joint and Crack Sealing Project M765. This contract allowed for one-year contract extension. This project will clean and seal joints and cracks in the pavements on the locations shown on the map. We recommend that the City Council approve the offer for the contract extension from Michigan Joint Sealing for the 2024 Joint and Crack Sealing Project in the total amount of $128,911.74. Funding is provided in the local streets fund.
Is there a motion to approve the contract extension?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
I got a question. But why does it say right under this Elevate Oak Park project up? Oh, is that the next thing?
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
Agenda item.
Always, as prices go up and up and up, it's better to get an extension than to start a new contract, correct?
Yes.
So no brainer. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Okay, who do we call for the Elevate Oak Park project update? You, City Manager
That would be
Tuggy, okay.
me, Madam Mayor. I'm going to call staff up as necessary, council members, but I do want to, I think we have a graphic. Oop. So I wanted to just do really briefly, we don't have a tremendous amount of updates, but again, this is our second meeting of the month, and as I promised, we'll have a update every second meeting of the month. So first things first, I wanted to give a quick funding update for the Event Hub, specifically, and this is out of Project Fund 407. We have Director Crawford over there. Maybe you want to join me at the podium, but I wanted to just give you an idea. I'm not going to read through all of these council members, but this is the grant funding that we, as you can see, have received and in some cases are still awaiting. So we've got the $1 million federal allocation in the federal budget, which we're waiting for Congress to give the budget over to the president to sign. And then we have the LEO Community Center federal grant that we're waiting on, which obviously is a huge chunk of, that's $2.5 million, huge chunk of this, and of course the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation grant application, which we're awaiting word on as well. So the total, there we go. So if we look at the expected transfers in from those various funds, the total with those grants would be $8.576 million of that project, which would more than fully fund that the Event Hub without dipping into any of the new millage money. So in essence, we are in a holding pattern until we know if we're going to receive those grants. The LEO Community Center grant, the $2.5 million grant application, we will know in January, and the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation grant application, we will know by April. The federal budget, the $1 million earmark in the federal budget, you probably know more than I do about when that's going to happen, because who knows? We're just awaiting those. So in any event, I also wanted to mention that the Event Hub total cost will be reevaluated upon the engineering and architectural being completed in 2024. And that was the next thing in my update, was that we had recently, as you know, council had authorized bids to be received for the engineering and architectural. I believe we had 15 bidders, right? Okay, one of you.
We had 15 show up to our
Okay.
mandatory walkthrough.
Okay. And we hope, Deputy City Manager DeCoster, that we'll be bringing a bid award back to City Council for their approval at the January 3rd meeting.
Yes, that's the intention. The RFPs are due tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the architectural and engineering RFP.
So how, one of the things, council members, I do want to mention regarding the Event Hub specifically is the estimated cost that we had previously received for that. We will know more specifics in terms of what it will actually cost, not just the estimates, but more of a specific cost. How far down the process do you think that will be?
We gave this project an aggressive schedule. The city manager would like to see a shovel on the ground in calendar year 2024. So we are set to meet in mid-January with the awarded, assumingly we award a vendor in early January. We would like to sit down with them within the first week or two to begin the process of schematic design and the early design of the project. Once, I would give it a couple months by the time we get to that 30% completion mark, and at that point we'll begin really drawing in the prices for the project. So I would hope by mid-year we'll have a total construction cost.
Okay.
We're gonna have a total construction cost by mid-24?
This is just for the Event Hub.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just for the event.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so unless there are other questions regarding the Event Hub, I'm going to flip over now to the community center. So regarding the bond council RFP, that will be live on BidNet this week, and we expect to begin receiving bids and submissions for that RFP by mid-January, and that will be for the community center. Very excited about that part of it, and of course the bond council that we select will guide us in issuing bonds and so forth. Also, the housing study results. I do want to mention Director Maroney is going to be bringing those. As you know, we had a very comprehensive housing study done citywide, but it also included the community center area for a few properties over there. Director Maroney, I've asked her to come back on Tuesday, January 16th, in a work session where we'll be kind of going over the results of those. I think we're very pleased with the results of the housing study. And then that is it. I'll be happy to accept any questions, but that's my update.
I do have a question.
Yes.
So if we don't get those grants for the event hub, are we going to go ahead anyway?
Well, I think one of the things that we'll have to do is probably do some value engineering in the project. So and make a determination of whether or not, if at that point, if we don't get those grants, we want to use some of the new millage money towards the event hub. If we don't, and this is a decision that City Council has to make, if we don't, then we'll have to value engineer the project to be less than we've expected it to be. So we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there, but that's
Well, we're going to do it regardless.
That's what I'd like, yeah, absolutely. It may not be, if we don't successfully attain those grants, it may be in a lesser form than we have previously hoped, yeah.
We're gonna get the grants.
I hope so, fingers crossed.
Been lucky.
I mean, we've received a considerable amount of money in the form of grant funding already, which I continue to praise, Crystal Van Vleck and others for, $5-6 million in grant money is nothing to sneeze at. It's a big deal. So I'm very, very happy with that so far. But we still have a ways to go, because our goal has always been to fund that event hub project without dipping into the new tax millage money. And we're going to continue to push until we know differently. So.
Good work.
So, council members, that completes the city manager report for this evening. I do want to say just real briefly, I wanted to commend our Director of Public Safety, Steve Cooper, who was last Friday morning awarded the Power of One Award by the Tri-Community Coalition at a breakfast. Congratulations, Director, well deserved. It's getting to a point where I almost feel like we're just following Director Cooper around town as he wins awards. He's just winning so many of these, we can't keep track of all of them. But congratulations, and like I said, well deserved. And I wanted to also wish a happy holiday to all of our staff, all of the members of our community, and of course the members of City Council. That completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This was exciting. Call to the audience.
Madam Mayor, I have Ken Sherman who would like to.
Okay, welcome.
Who is this guy?
Make sure you get his information. He's never been up here before.
Good evening, Ken Sherman, 23840 Jerome, Oak Park. 2 points. One, an observation regarding the shopping cart ordinance. If you drive down Greenfield between 10 and 11 Mile, you see people from the Oak Park side going over into the Southfield side, taking shopping carts over from Oak Park to Southfield. And then you see people on the Southfield side taking shopping carts from the Southfield side to the Oak Park side, mainly from, I think, the kosher market. So I don't know if that fits in to the ordinance that you have proposed, but that's just an observation that people are going from both sides of the street to both cities. So maybe there needs to be some coordination between the city of Oak Park and the city of Southfield in relationship to this ordinance that's being proposed. My second issue is I'm a little perplexed. Your last city council meeting on December 11th, within a day or two after that meeting, the media was filled with news about the lawsuit that the city was engaged in against the WWJ owners. And I don't understand, if you had a city council meeting on December 11th, why that topic was not part of the city council meeting for discussion, for residents to be aware of that. And as far as I know, This is the second lawsuit the city has against the property owner. This one and the property owner.
I would like to congratulate 2 of our Oak Park residents for turning 100 years old. One of them was in my senior dance class and was out dancing me. And she is feisty and fun and a lovely lady, Dorothy Ogletree, longtime resident. The other one is coming up, Rachel Grow, also is celebrating her 100th year. Mazel tov to everybody. Again, echoing the city manager, we congratulate Steve Cooper on the Tri-Community Coalition Power of One Award. We know we have a gem. Like to wish all of you a Merry Christmas. May it bring the blessings of peace, tolerance, brotherly love to all, because heaven knows it's badly needed this year. Merry Christmas and a peaceful New Year to all. Mayor Pro Tem.
I just want to say congratulations to Director Cooper. I am not surprised that you were given this award. You are a very distinguished officer here for the City of Oak Park. You do a wonderful, wonderful job, and I think you're wonderful. I wanted to say happy holidays to all of the staff and department, and thank you for your continued hard work and dedication to the City of Oak Park and keeping our standards above ground.
Amen. Councilmember Radner.
Good night, everyone.
Councilmember Julian.
Happy holidays to everyone. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming, and have a wonderful holiday season. Stay safe and have fun. There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned.
Good night, everyone.
Did you get that?
Yeah.